Over the past few years, Boeing has slowly been losing its grip on the aircraft market to Airbus, mostly due to delays and grounded planes. But now it seems like Boeing is ready to make a great comeback. The much-anticipated Boeing 797 could be the game-changer the company needs to reclaim its place in the skies. Positioned between narrow-body and wide-body aircraft, this new plane can promise exciting features that could catch the attention of airlines around the world. Now the questions are, what key features will the Boeing 797 offer? And most importantly, what benefits could airlines gain from this new model? Let's see. Stephanie Pope, Boeing's chief commercial officer, recently shared that the company is planning to produce a new aircraft in Northwest Washington. Although Boeing has not officially announced which model they will manufacture, many believe it could be the 797. This new airplane is expected to replace two of Boeing's older models. The 767, which is a twin-aisle aircraft seating up to 261 passengers, and the 757, a single-aisle plane that seats up to 295 passengers. The 797 is designed to compete directly with other popular aircraft, like the Airbus A320 and A330. Despite the promising market for this type of airplane, Boeing seems hesitant to fully commit to heavy investments in developing the 797 just yet. This hesitation connects to the past, as Boeing stopped making the 757 in 2004 due to low demand. However, about 10 years later, the demand for a mid-sized aircraft began to grow again. To meet this demand, Boeing started exploring the idea of the new mid-size airplane, NMA, which is now often referred to as the Boeing 797. It shows how the company is reconsidering its approach, moving cautiously toward a potential solution for today's market needs. Back in 2015, people began speculating that Boeing might create a new airplane to replace the 757. This new plane was expected to fly 20% farther than the 757-200, while still being able to operate on shorter runways, about 7,000 feet long. Around the same time, airlines started showing interest in a modern jet that could take over from the 757. Before the Paris Air Show that year, Boeing spoke with potential customers to see if there was enough demand to justify spending roughly $10 billion on developing a new aircraft. After these discussions, Boeing concluded that the market was indeed large enough. However, they realized the new plane would need to be a significant improvement over the 757 to meet expectations. Experts estimated that airlines might need between 2,000 and 4,000 of these planes. But as Boeing looked closer, they found that designing and building this new aircraft would cost about $50 billion. By 2017, this hefty price tag led Boeing to pause the plan, leaving the project on hold for the time being. Many airlines showed strong interest in Boeing's proposed twin-aisle jet with a unique elliptical shape. What caught their attention the most was the narrow-body design combined with an extremely long range, capable of flying up to 5,000 nautical miles in one version. This version would seat 225 passengers, offering more range than the larger 275-seat version, which could fly only 4,500 nautical miles. The 797 stood out because it promised to bring more value to airlines. Compared to other narrow-body planes, it was expected to generate 30% more revenue while reducing costs significantly. A round trip with the 797 would cost 40% less than similar flights with wide-body planes, making it ideal for long-haul routes. As Boeing worked on its plans, they estimated the price of the 797 to be between $65 million and $75 million, adding another appealing factor for airlines looking to upgrade their fleets. The new midsize airplane was planned to use engines from General Electric's CFM International, providing 50,000 pounds of thrust, a high bypass ratio of 10:1 or more, and a pressure ratio exceeding 50:1. Boeing also considered using an engine from Pratt & Whitney for the 797, giving airlines options for cutting-edge performance. Unfortunately, at the start of 2020, Boeing announced they would not move forward with either version of the 797. Their priority shifted to getting the 373 MAX back into service after its grounding. While this decision paused the 797 project, Boeing hinted at the possibility of developing a smaller version of the 737 MAX. This option was simpler and cheaper, with estimated development costs of under $25 billion. Even though a shorter 737 MAX would be easier to create, the aviation market is still eager for the 797. If Boeing decides to develop it, the news would shake the entire industry, sending ripples across competitors and customers alike. This potential move shows how much impact a single decision from Boeing can have on the future of air travel. Forbes analysts say Boeing urgently needs the 797, even with its $50 billion development cost. The demand for mid-range planes is surging, with thousands of Airbus A321s on order. Airlines are so desperate that the 737 MAX 10, though a weaker competitor, has become the second best-selling MAX model. This urgency stems from Boeing discontinuing the 757, leaving a gap in the market for affordable long-haul travel. Boeing's struggles with certifying the 737 MAX 10 and MAX 7 due to safety and deicing issues make diversifying critical. While Boeing claims no new aircraft are planned soon, experts suggest prioritizing the 797, a 250-seat plane with an extended range could meet demand. As Liam News highlighted, no Boeing program, except the 787, ever came close to a $50 billion cost. The 787th, despite its financial challenges, totaled around $50 billion, including $12 billion for customer compensation. Still, Boeing's CEO David Calhoun shouldn't assume the 797 would cost the same. Even if it does, avoiding this project isn't an option. Jens Flo from Aviation Week emphasized that while Boeing can barely afford the 797 now, waiting is riskier. Delays could lead to losing experienced engineers, making future development harder. With growing demand for long-range, narrow-body planes seating over 250 passengers, neither Boeing nor Airbus can fully meet airlines' needs, making the 797 a critical opportunity. Unless Boeing develops a new narrow-body aircraft, Airbus alone won't be able to meet the growing demand. This makes it even more important for Boeing to make the smart choice and start working on the 797. But have you ever thought about what the 797 might look like? After some research, here's an idea of what it could be when production eventually begins. Let's start with the fuselage and move to the wings. The 797's fuselage will likely be similar to the 787's but smaller. Its wings may look like the 787's, though smaller in surface area with less flexibility. The vertical stabilizer on the tail will be shorter with a smaller rudder. The landing gear will be taller to fit different engine types. The engines will probably be smaller, as the 797 doesn't need a lot of thrust, resulting in quieter rides without the need for triangular nibs at the ends. You might think this design seems familiar, and you'd be right. Boeing can't take many risks with the 797, as it's expected to be a bestseller. Performance in speed, range, and fuel efficiency will be the most important factors. So, what do you think the Boeing 797 will look like when it finally takes to the skies? Do you think it will meet the growing demand for long-range, narrow-body planes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can see more videos like this. See you in our next video. Until then, take care, and thanks for watching.